Edgar Allan Poe, a master of the macabre, whose works have left an indelible mark on the world of literature. Born in 1809, Poe's life was a tapestry woven with threads of tragedy, genius, and unrequited love. His early years were marked by the loss of his parents, leaving him an orphan at a tender age. Orphaned young, he was raised by John Allan, a wealthy businessman who provided for Poe's education but never formally adopted him. This lack of formal adoption created a sense of instability in Poe's life. Poe's literary journey began in poetry, but it was his chilling tales of horror, mystery, and the supernatural that cemented his place in literary history. His works often reflected his own tumultuous life experiences. From The Telltale Heart to The Raven, Poe's stories delved into the darkest recesses of the human psyche, exploring themes of madness, guilt, and the macabre. His writing, characterized by haunting imagery and an exploration of the grotesque, captivated readers and established him as a pioneer of detective fiction. His creation of the detective genre with stories like The Murders in the Rue Morgue showcased his innovative spirit. His life, much like his writing, was shrouded in mystery, culminating in a death as enigmatic as the tales he penned. Poe's untimely demise in 1849 remains a subject of speculation and intrigue. Poe struggled with poverty, alcoholism, and the loss of loved ones, including his young wife, Virginia. These hardships deeply influenced his work, adding layers of depth and sorrow. These personal tragedies fueled the darkness and despair that permeated his writing, making his stories resonate with readers who have experienced their own sorrows and fears. In the autumn of 1849, Poe embarked on a journey from Richmond, Virginia, to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This trip was supposed to be a straightforward one, but it turned into a tragic and mysterious episode that has puzzled historians and literary enthusiasts for over a century. He was found delirious and disoriented in Baltimore on October 3, 1849. The city, bustling with life, became the backdrop for the final, tragic chapter of Poe's life. The circumstances leading to his discovery remain murky, shrouded in speculation and conflicting accounts. Various theories have been proposed, ranging from alcohol poisoning to political kidnapping, but none have been definitively proven. Poe was found outside a tavern called Gunner's Hall, wearing clothes that did not belong to him. This detail has fueled numerous theories about what might have happened to him during those missing days. His disheveled appearance and incoherent ramblings painted a picture of a man far removed from his usual self. Friends and acquaintances who saw him in this state were shocked and deeply concerned. Witnesses described him as being in a state of extreme agitation, his words nonsensical, his demeanor erratic. It was clear to those who saw him that something was terribly wrong. He was taken to Washington College Hospital, where he remained under the care of Dr. John Joseph Moran. The hospital, a place of last resort for many, became Poe's final refuge. Moran's accounts of Poe's final days provide the most detailed, albeit sometimes contradictory, glimpse into the writer's last moments. These accounts have been scrutinized and debated by scholars for years. According to Moran, Poe experienced periods of lucidity interspersed with bouts of extreme confusion and hallucinations. These episodes were both heartbreaking and baffling to those who witnessed them. He reportedly called out for a mysterious figure named Reynolds, and spoke of a wife and mother in Richmond despite his wife having passed away 2 years prior. These utterances have only added to the enigma of his final days. These fragmented glimpses into Poe's final days only deepen the mystery surrounding his demise. The questions remain. What truly happened to Edgar Allan Poe in those last fateful days, and will we ever uncover the truth? The discovery of Poe in such a state sent shockwaves through the literary world. His sudden and mysterious condition became the talk of the town, with everyone from common folk to literary giants speculating on what could have led to such a tragic turn of events. Theories abounded, ranging from the plausible to the outlandish. Some believed he had been a victim of a political plot, while others thought he had been caught in a web of personal vendettas. Some whispered of foul play, suggesting that Poe's enemies had a hand in his downfall. The idea that he had been targeted by rivals or wronged by those he trusted added a layer of intrigue to the already puzzling situation. Others pointed to his history of alcoholism, speculating that he had succumbed to his addiction. They argued that his well-documented struggles with alcohol had finally taken their toll, leading to his untimely demise. Despite the best efforts of Dr. Moran and the hospital staff, Poe's condition did not improve. The medical team worked tirelessly, but their efforts were in vain as they watched his health deteriorate rapidly. He remained delirious and disoriented, his body racked with tremors and convulsions. His incoherent mutterings and violent shakes painted a grim picture of his final days. In his final hours, Poe's ramblings ceased, replaced by an eerie silence. The once vibrant and troubled mind fell quiet, leaving those around him in a state of somber reflection. On October 7, 1849, just 4 days after being found, Edgar Allan Poe breathed his last. His passing marked the end of an era, but the questions surrounding his death were just beginning. His death left behind a void in the literary world, and a mystery that continues to captivate to this day. Poe's legacy endures, with scholars and fans alike still seeking answers to the enigma of his final days. The sudden and mysterious nature of Poe's death sparked a flurry of speculation and debate. Numerous theories have been proposed, each attempting to shed light on the circumstances surrounding his demise. One enduring theory attributes Poe's death to cooping, a nefarious practice during 19th-century elections. This involved kidnapping individuals and forcing them to vote multiple times for a particular candidate under different aliases. Given Poe's disheveled appearance and the fact that he was found wearing clothes that weren't his, cooping seemed plausible. However, there's no concrete evidence to suggest Poe was a victim of this practice. No contemporary accounts mention his involvement in any election-related activities, and the theory relies heavily on circumstantial evidence. While the cooping theory offers a tantalizing explanation, it remains just that, a theory. The cooping theory, while intriguing, has been challenged by many Poe scholars. They argue that Poe, being a recognizable figure, would have been an unlikely target for such a scheme. Additionally, the brutality often associated with cooping doesn't align with the relatively healthy physical state in which Poe was found. While he was delirious and disoriented, there were no signs of significant physical injury. The lack of any contemporary accounts mentioning Poe's involvement in election-related activities further weakens the cooping theory. Despite its flaws, the cooping theory persists, fueled by the public's fascination with Poe's mysterious death. The truth remains elusive, and the cooping theory, while compelling, ultimately fails to provide a definitive answer. Another theory posits that Poe's death was a result of alcohol withdrawal, known as delirium tremens. Poe's struggles with alcohol were well documented, and his erratic behavior could be consistent with delirium tremens. However, some medical experts argue that the timeline of Poe's decline and the symptoms he exhibited don't entirely align with delirium tremens. Another theory suggests rabies as a possible cause of Poe's death. This theory stems from reports that Poe displayed hydrophobia, a fear of water often associated with rabies, in his final days. While intriguing, this theory lacks substantial evidence. Some theories suggest Poe's death was the result of foul play, pointing to his scathing literary critiques and possible enemies. However, like other conspiracy theories, there's no concrete evidence to support these claims. Despite extensive research, the precise cause of Edgar Allan Poe's death remains a mystery. The passage of time has only served to shroud the events of his final days in further uncertainty. While the circumstances surrounding his death remain elusive, what's undeniable is the indelible mark Poe left on the literary world. His tales of horror, mystery, and the macabre continue to captivate readers. The mystery of Poe's death mirrors the enigmatic nature of his life and work. Perhaps the answer to how Poe died is less important than the enduring power of his work. In death, as in life, Poe remains an enigma, a literary giant whose life and work continue to fascinate and inspire.